Hello, my fellow Sigma males. I have been playing Slay the Spire 2 for a while now, and as you can see, I am dominating every single match. Look at my beautiful stats. The game is very hard to get into, but once things fall into place, you start to feel unstoppable. Like Train unstoppable, like Plane unstoppable. Mega Grit, after the success of the first Slay the Spire, decided to make another one, with better cards, better animation and characters, and of course, more deadly creatures. After 40 hours of gameplay, did I master anything? Yes, I mastered the art of dying. The rage consumes me, and I will be coming to your house in a few hours to beat you with hammers. I watch as the boss suicide bomb reaches my entire health bar. Now, I could talk about the story, I could try to explain what's happening right now, but that would be unwise for a real G like me. The game is in early access, meaning the story is unfinished and could be subjugated to change. Just know we're on a giant tower, coincidentally line up with my plane joke earlier, and there's a person named the Architect on top of this tower. And he is evil? Who knows? Anyways, we will start with the gameplay. The first time you play Slay the Spire, you play and take every single card you find. By the end, you realize your deck is too huge, suffering from success. You die. Making it to Act 3 is almost impossible if you didn't play the first game. How do you actually play? Now, take all I'm about to say with a sea worth of salt. The total wins I have in this game can be counted on one hand. Regardless, the best course of action I've found, especially while playing Act 1, is to focus on really good damage and decent block early on. Do not go for a deck build yet. The deck build gets determined with what cards you get, so basically it is not your decision but the RNG here. Once you get to Act 2, please stop taking candy from strangers. I remember having a really good build, but due to the amount of cards I had, I couldn't get to them because I kept getting cards that didn't work with what I'm going for. It's also worth mentioning, get rid of these, meaning if I have a route that goes to a shop, maybe taking it is the best option. The shop in this game allows you to buy cards, potions and relics, but the most important feature is to get rid of your cards. Get rid of strikes. The amount of times you will get a handful of strikes is insane otherwise. And yes, this means you're doomed later down the line. Relics and potions are mostly randomized, unless you're in a shop, so try to choose something that would help you. In this game, you play cards to attack, block, get power, or use a skill, and that's why managing your deck comes as a priority. The battle comes in form of thinking. Yes, you have to give thought to what you are about to do, because one mistake could genuinely ruin your run. I know this concept is hard for Little Roy subscribers, but you have to do it. You are not only playing from your hand though, you're also playing from your draw pile and your discard pile. Sometimes you will get a card that allows you to get another card from your grave, that gives you the opportunity to deal double the damage this card is already doing, or double the block. You could also use a card that allows you to draw more cards. So yes, unlike popular beliefs from Tinder women, your deck doesn't have to be big. Small and efficient is how to give the best pleasure. So in every single turn you have to think, is attacking worth it here or is it best to block? Remember, the damage you're gonna take in one fight will carry over till you find a resting point you could heal in, or a relic that will heal with certain conditions. And that brings me to the next point. Route taking is very important here. Most of the time during Act 1 you have to take a route that has at the very least 2 elites. These fights give you relics that will help you later down the line. Act 2 is the hardest part of the run because, like I said before, it's where you actually start focusing your deck, finding shops and getting rid of cards. So taking maybe at max 2 elites would be good here. If you're able to survive this act, you are pretty much unkillable in Act 3, unless for some reason you decide to use the Orb of Confusion and play like a total dumbass. Now, it's time to talk about my favorite thing here, the characters. Ironclad, making a pact with the devil, and possibly, maybe, killing his entire species and a few others in return for getting more power. This is the first character you start with, and for some reason he was the hardest for me to get right. This guy has a bunch of playstyles. Infinite, which I am not gonna get into because I don't know how to play it even after 40 hours of gameplay. Strength, and vulnerable. Strength, you basically get a bunch of cards that will give you strength, that stacks later on. Same thing goes for vulnerable. This style goes into something called scaling, which you need to achieve in Act 2 in order to win. Scaling, basically you getting stronger as the fight goes on. This is where the fun begins though. The best build I found for this character is the block build. Get a bunch of block cards, Shrug Off, Evil Eye, Taunt, Flame Barrier if you have enough mana. The most essential card though is Body Slam, allowing you to do damage that is equal to the block you have. Get Barricade. This card gives you the ability to keep the block you gain from your turn, and to make this build even more deadlier, get the Gambit. Keep your deck to a max of 20 or so cards and you get yourself an absolutely insane build that will scale really quickly as the fight goes on. The problem with this build is, you know, getting the cards in the first place. The Silent, known for being a woman. Now, to say that the average Slay the Spire fan is afraid of women would be an understatement. Their interaction with the opposite gender can be counted on one hand. The other hand is you're good at the Luckily enough for us, she doesn't like talking. She probably doesn't like anyone. She is the perfect woman, besides Mommy Creek. The Silent is probably the easiest one to build. Poison and Chevs. Chevs is really easy to build and the cards you would get the most. Let's get a bunch of cards that will give you a Chev. And also make sure to get Accuracy. Really elevates your build and just watch as you obliterate enemies and bosses in just 2 or 3 turns. Also get Finisher and finish on the enemy. This character is overall just really fun to play for first time players. Okay, the next one is quite insane. I open up YouTube and people are like, worse than Epstein. Algebran. His lore is crazy. Like, he wanted to make friends with some people and he realized that they are a bunch of idiots, so he decided to make them his slaves instead. Reasonable? Maybe. But how is his gameplay? Well, it ranges from damn, I'm gonna die to
Zeus, your son has returned! I bring the destruction of Olympus!
He is really weird, like I said. Some cards are really bad and some are really good. The best deck build is a Starfall deck, prioritizing this other energy type called stars. Basically, get cards that give you stars and then use something like Radiate or Stardust, and you're pretty much OP. Hello everybody, today I will explain why slavery might not be so bad after all. The next woman on our list of 2 in the whole world is a Necropiner. Now, she is not the prettiest, I agree, unless you have a fetish for bones or something. Let's talk about her worst effect though, Doom. I hate this shit. You can build your deck around Doom, but that's the thing. You'd have a huge amount of block, because this effect doesn't work at the end of your turn, like any other card. It works after the enemy attacks. So, what is the difference between this and Poison? Very simple. Poison's just better. Osti, your slave. The entire build revolves around getting cards that would help Osti become stronger. This guy acts like a block too, so this build is genuinely great. The last one is Souls. Soul is a card that allows you to draw 2 cards from your deck and then exhaust it. Use that with Haunt and now you are pretty much unstoppable. Now, for some reason, the Necrobinder really hates the Architect. I think she called them a bunch of slurs before. Well, good luck next time. Destroyed, become defected, become retarded. You start off with 3 orb slots. Use Capacitor, use Modded, use Defragment, and molest your enemy. Lighting orbs use Lightning, cause it's block. Glass is damage stacker that goes down every turn, and Dark is the actual damage stacker. I use 30 lighting orbs to become the Thunder Leftist San Wababi and shock my dog into submission. During your run, you'll run into a multitude of events, ranging from damn that's good to oh my god it is so over. Utilizing these events though will help you in the long run, and speaking of events, the Ancient Beans can also be counted in that. RNG wise, you don't have to worry too much until you meet the devil, and surprisingly he's evil. My recommendation for this game is 100 out of good. You need to play this, and due to this early access, you'll be getting much more content down the line. So what's not to like here?